To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament powered by Lenovo and Intel, and our media partner is AFK Gaming. I am your host back again, Apollonia, and joining me is your favorite caster and analyst, Shade Slayer.
Hey Apple, what's up? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It is a new day. It is day 4 of the round of 256, and we are going to have HellHouls versus SangfroidGaming. But first, let's talk a little bit about what happened yesterday. We saw 2Easy Gaming, a very well-known team with a rich history in both India and Mumbai itself. That's where they're based. In playing CSGO, they made it out of the round of 256, as well as Global Esports, a very well-known esports org.
Yeah, both teams will be favorites to go very deep in the tournament, and they got off to a very easy start. They weren't really challenged in either of their matches. I mean, 2E's Gaming, of course, they did have a slight bit of a hiccup at the beginning, especially I believe one of their players dropped out for a couple of rounds, and their opponents, F12 Gaming, started off good, but I believe they were leading 4-2 at one point of time, but after that, it was just 2E's Gaming all the way through. Global Esports barely broke a sweat in their round of 256 match, but that was kind of expected from the get-go. It would have taken a huge upset to for them to have actually lost that match, let alone give a fight. So today, another day, another set of new teams jumping in for the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament. Yes, SangfroidGaming versus HellHouls. Map pick is Mirage. Interested to see how things play out. And in fact, the time is ticking down for game 1. So I believe we can jump straight into the action here, as we have SangfroidGaming starting off on the CT side, HellHouls starting on the T side. I'm Shades here. Joining me is OG, the low-res chicken. OG, what's up?
Well, a refreshing day for once, where I'm expecting there to be close games. In all honesty, I feel like at least today we'll have both the teams hit double digits. Let's hope, let's cross our fingers, Shade.
For now, we do see a couple of T's heading towards B, and Wizzy opens up the account for the CT's early man advantage. HellHouls in absolutely no hurry to jump into the action. They're starting things slow, have spread themselves out, but their B hit just took quite a beating, OG.
It did take quite a beating, and HellHouls are in a very iffy position. They're hoping that this fake towards B gets sold, but Divide is in a really good position, and I doubt Magicians will be overcommitted, although we have 3 men towards B with 1 market, 1 up towards the apps, and 1 hiding towards B short, while the hit's happening towards A, mind you. So HellHouls, they've sold a real good fake. It's gonna be on the execution now, whether they can land their shots. The initial spot comes in from Dream, but he's yet to gain a frag. Now, everything's gonna close upon him.
Yeah, they're gonna go charging through, and somehow he does not find the opener. That CT was red right there, and the jump down not before he gets tagged heavily. And that is gonna be Wizzy with the 2K there at the end, cleaning things up. What looked promising for HellHouls at the beginning. A couple of T's managed to sneak in unawares. The CTs couldn't really do much. Even the dink onto the CT, playing all the way back from CT spawn. But yeah, that push from the T there, he absolutely had to get the job done. They take control of CT, it's a complete different story there for HellHouls, but instead it is SangFroid cleaning things up in convincing fashion.
You gotta give it to them though. That fake was sold perfectly, and now the rush towards B. All they can look for right now is potentially a bomb plan, and Devil is trying to make it as hard as it can be, buying a lot of time for the rotation. And now with the cycle lockdown, HellHouls, yeah, they're out. Complete clean wipe, no men down from the CD side, which is really good. Now their economy is off to a good start, and so is the game. If they convert upon this, they can get off to a real good start in the first half and at least accumulate a real good lead quite early on.
Well, that was a hard eco coming in from HellHouls. They didn't waste any time whatsoever there. Straight up B rush, easily countered by SangfroidGaming. They did have, however, only one player on the B side to begin with. But despite that, he was on point with the FAMAS from short. Gets 2 kills even before the T's make their way towards WAN, and 2-0. They're going to call a quick timeout, a quick reconnect back in from one of the players from SangfroidGaming. HellHouls going with the 5 AKs. They're light on utility, maybe on a couple of players here. Alchemistine as well as Very Bad Guy. Both of them around 4,450, but yeah, they're just going to reset the round back. Let's see if they actually go for the AKs back out again. Looks like they will. They did have 1 smoke each purchased.
And they have utility to compensate though for both DJ Paul and Xander. They'll be the ones who need to be alive. It's more about Alchemist and Very Bad Guy playing contact. At this point, it's a real good choice considering that you have superior weaponry. Against the CT side, you have superior utility for now, but Sang can obviously go and invest everything they have into their Molotovs and whatever they might need. If you're HellHouls, your objective right now is to put as much utility as you can to use, because you have it spread very unevenly, and right now it's very crucial that you do not give away the early frag on the utility players, which we've seen happen quite a lot, especially in this tier of CS.
Indeed, we have. And HellHouls, they've not got too many frags on the board just yet. In fact, I believe they're sitting on an absolute knot there. Did get decent damage done though in that pistol round, but no frags to show for. But might just see the flow change here in this buy round. I want to see if they're going to spread out pretty much like they did in the pistol. We saw 1 mid, 2A, 2B try and poke at the CT defense and see if something comes off it, or will they go for a more standard execute towards one of the sides?
Right now, you prefer to group up and perhaps go for a standard execute. You obviously do have better weaponry. A split wouldn't be all that bad. They can put a lot of this initial utility to try and gain mid control as well. We see another timeout called. It seems like one of the players from SangfroidGaming have disconnected. And boy, we've seen quite a bit of this, right? Due to the COVID situation, especially in India, the internet seems to be a huge issue when it comes to a couple of gamers.
I mean, everybody's using a lot of internet these days, right? And
exactly.
Yep, many of the players, of course, playing from their homes. Sometimes it does lead to some internet issues. Hopefully, SangfroidGaming are able to get their 5th man in. But let's talk a little bit about the CT side of teams that we have seen so far in this tournament. Over the last 3 days, we've seen most of this, the dominant teams completely play CT side aggressive. They don't mind pushing multiple places, but on the flip side, teams that haven't been doing all that great, we see a pretty static CT side from them, almost always playing on hyper defensive. So SangfroidGaming, interested to see how they do here now that they did get off to a decent start.
Well, to work on that, we've seen those 2 dominant teams, quote unquote, being Global Esports and 2EZ Gaming. You really have no margin for error when it comes to this kind of format, and they have enough experience and firepower to compensate for that X factor, I'd say, where they come up against these teams. They can afford to play aggressive, right? Because they know that they have a lot of pocket strats, they have a lot of experience to know how to counter, let's say, a potential Jack in the Box. It wouldn't be as bad for them as it would for these people, because on CD side, you need to try gaining at least 6 to 7 rounds, and no margin to throw away rounds, especially for HellHouls. They need to start trading these skills. Let's just get left, right, center. SangfroidGaming just going to and fro, poking off each other and towards HellHounds, leaving them completely stuck in no man's land and just being barraged with bullets. 3-0. HellHounds, they had a lot of utility, they had superior weaponry, but what they didn't have there is proper coordination while hitting the A side.
They drop the utility, but they kind of get stuck at Tetris there. 3 T's heading in. The player at Under Palace completely ignored, and he got so much work done. He stalled that push for it, got it, and Dream Killer.
Another flash. Is he gonna re-engage? Beautiful aggro drawn away, but the Mac 10 at that range is far too weak for Divide. He needs to come up massive in terms of frags. Gets the spot, but he also gives his position away. Knows exactly what's up. The rotations come in though, and that's their saving grace. Down at 2 versus 4. The Mac 10s can't nearly do damage at range. The MP7 maybe? Nah, not successful enough. 4-0 with only 1 kill found. This is starting to look quite the good start for SangfroidGaming. Unfortunately for HellHounds, they did not get the bomb plant, hence their utility might be a little short. They're able to force out an op though, and it's being shuffled around finally on the hands of DJ Paul. This is a must-win round. You need to start breaking the momentum coming in from SangfroidGaming. Not only the momentum, mind you, but also their economy, which is starting to grow at a scary rate.
Yeah, right now, AWP. Let's see if we get to see Devil take a shot here. There is a smoke going down. They failed the passing smoke.
Boy.
And if Drag peeks out, he's gonna be in for a surprise. The timing, Devil. Oh, couldn't have been any better there. He peeks out there. X-Devil levels things up.
Yeah, HellHouls literally dodged a bullet there, but where they dodged one, Alchemist seems to have received one. Now the man has advantage. What do HellHounds do? They're still towards T-spawn, not gaining any map control whatsoever. And if you just put yourself in the shoes of SangfroidGaming, they have no pressure whatsoever. HellHounds have not been applying any kind of pressure to their CT defense. It's all been very one-dimensional and so easy to read. And again, the peek through Palace, mind you, as he finds 2 frags, massive frags, with the odd timing in. It should be done and dusted. It's so much on the DJ Paul, but the close angle held. Boy, this is turning out to be one carnage, where HellHounds simply aren't able to find any grounds. Wherever they do peek, there's instant replies coming in left, right, center from SangfroidGaming. They need to start working on their buddy system. They cannot afford to face 4 men at a time with nobody playing anti-flash, nobody covering each other's back, and even if a man does go down, you barely see a refrag. I don't think I've seen a single refrag the entire game.
Yeah, Sangfroid thus far have had a pretty easy CT side, but might just change here as HellHouls. I think they're looking for a quick B hit. They've grouped up as 5 here, but
utility is going to be certainly a problem. They smoke through a window, but the side defense is very upfront and personal. And Hotel, the crossfire set in stone. Chips, he's going to get the first frag. And again, no refrag coming in from HellHounds. Completely, I'm not even sure how to word that. Just running in like a headless chicken and getting taken down? Boy, no utility left on the board as well. 2 versus 5 with no head armor, so they're 1 tap away from death.
And that was with a smoke dropped from SangfroidGaming. It was not the wisest of decisions to push through that smoke without any flashes of their own. They just walked into CTs who had them in their crosshairs, and looks like that's got to be the case. They're going to go for yet another one there. DJ Paul goes out and Dream Killer from above knew exactly where the 2 remaining T's were coming from, and SangfroidGaming, at least for now, they've barely been tested, OG.
Yeah, I don't think they've even broken a sweat. They'll just be enjoying themselves at this point. doesn't seem like HellHouls have come in with any kind of solid game plan. They have a little bit of utility knowledge. They know how to smoke towards B window. They could smoke towards mid, but we've seen the nest smoke fail on multiple occasions. Devil, this time he wants to try and see if he's gonna get any skin shown. I don't think HellHouls has even contested mids. Let's see if Devil is baited into a sense of false security and tries to push towards mid while Divide just completely shuts down the A push. And I love this bait and switch setup coming in from SangfroidGaming. Wizzy, he should be more than comfortable just playing passive, but he goes from the wide swing and that baits the peak into the AWP. 2 versus 5 yet again, as if things weren't looking bleak already. It's just gotten duller and grim. Wizzy, yeah, not breaking a sweat. Happy feet wombo combo just walks in. Easy frag. DSM is all that remains. With a Galil, should meet his eventual demise in about a moment. Able to actually return fire. Finally, something for him to work with, but as soon as the flame got lit, it got extinguished as well. 7-0. SangfroidGaming on the verge of winning the half in terms of scoreline, but it looks like they've already won the game.
Yeah, things looking pretty bleak here for HellHouls. They haven't really shown us too much variations either. We've seen the standard A hit or B hit. They've never really gone for mid control, if I'm not mistaken, so far. In fact, they haven't really challenged the upper either. And this time they're going to send 3 mid, while
And
it's
now
pretty much
they
an
can
A
be on
hit
the
right now
backline.
they're committing to.
Exactly. Backlines is going to close in on HellHouls if they don't need any time pass, and through the smoke the frag comes in. This is just turning out to be a very sad affair for HellHouls, as not only have they discharged utility, which is good, but using utility which doesn't land in the right places could hurt you more than help you. As you see SangfroidGaming just poking through whatever HellHouls are throwing at them and returning the favor as well. Ships the push through there, should be able to drop the bomb, but ends up coming on the bottom end of that engagement. HellHouls given a lifeline to survive. The double up setup is still up and running, which makes the retake even more harder, but Divide's playing aggressive. He doesn't want any of that passive stuff. Almost gets the tag, actually misses a shot. Holds a passive angle. Mind you, DT Paul has the off. Now with the defensive smoke, he has a little bit of time that he can buy. The last time we saw smoke being dished out, HellHouls had no problem pushing it. Let's hope that they learn from that ground.
And now
At this
with
point,
X-Devil holding mid as well, they've got,
They're boxed
they're boxed and there's nowhere to go. Wizzy's got connector as well. Maybe underpass
Wizzy
is
needs
pretty
to
much
guard
the
underpass.
best option that they do have.
exactly, but Wizzy's a little slow though. He might lose his way to his top mid. Oh no! The white clear ain't there, and Wizzy on cue, on point. Perfect angle held. 8-0 HellHouls. They're in a pretty dark place.
Pretty dark place indeed. Yet to get on the scorecard. The double up setup still going pretty strong here for SangfroidGaming. And the problem with HellHouls is they're not winning any opening duels right now. And they're always playing with the numbers disadvantage. The attack seems pretty orchestrated. This time they show up in mid, but Divide just plucks the first player out.
Wow.
Balls are
The
really good as
aggressive.
well.
Yeah, the ball's on the line to go for that play. Jumping down from Snapiness and still getting the kill. Hello? What is this? HellHouls. They're just being schooled at this moment.
Wizzy on 13, Divide on 11, Dreamkiller on 10. While on the other side is that scorecard doesn't look all too bright right now for HellHouls. They've got nothing going individually as well, and things just looking like it's gonna go even more south real soon.
So, this does bring us a little bit of time to maybe go away from the point, as we already know where this is gonna head. The push towards B and the off towards man. This might be possible, but very slim margin of error, and that smoke is gonna give it away. Let's go comes in from Devil, which is good by 7 at close range doesn't work out, but Wizzy with the AK just takes them behind the barn and finishing the job off. 10-0 SangfroidGaming hitting double digits. Coming into this tournament, who are the couple of teams that you're excited to see? And not somebody like Global Esports, I'm talking about underdog dark horse material. What do you feel is going to be that team that might pull off the upset later on in the tournament?
I actually have no idea, man. I'm gonna have to wait till the end of round one, and I think maybe even then I really won't be in a position to kind of pick my favorite underdog. But I think a couple of rounds in, once we do see some of these teams and we get an idea of how they can kind of readjust into different situations, I'll be able to then maybe put a finger on one team. But as of now, yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the favorites to come out on top regardless.
I'd say the two teams that everyone needs to keep their eye out for is one is Team IND, which is Velocity and Gang. The other would be, at least in my opinion, too easy. They certainly have the skill level. They certainly have the players who could pull this off. Sorry, what? Oh, all right. Coming back to the point, yeah. So these are the two teams that are very, how do I say this? They're okay. So Team IND is relatively new. They have been together, if I'm not mistaken, for the past 3 months, something along that lines. Team Too Easy obviously has been, the core of that roster has been along for a decent bit of time, if I'm not mistaken, at least a year. So those two teams have a real good chance at pulling off an upset, primarily because Team IND, they don't have much you can beat them based on, and Too Easy just due to their explosiveness and their firepower in that arsenal. They have a couple of big guns that you'd really love to see in action later on in the tournament when they head up against Global Esports, when they head up potentially against maybe a Wings. You never know.
And their mid presence just gets taken off. Divide stands up inside, and Shib manages to find two there as well on the B side. They slow things down when that initial rush gets stopped with counter utility, but yeah, they needed that mid presence to amount to a lot more if they were to pull off that round. Once that gets taken away, SangfroidGaming knows the hit is coming back towards B, and they just end up funneling in one by one. So, yep, going back to talking about underdog teams, I think at this point, a lot of the what do you say, the terminologies would have changed as well, because we've right now with lockdown, at least a lot of these teams would have had a lot more time to practice, especially the newer ones. And even if not in terms of strategy, at least in terms of aim, right? We're gonna have a lot more players who are gonna be able to stand up against some of the semi-pros as well as veterans in the scene a lot more. And I think we'll get to see quite a few upsets starting from even as early as the next round itself, OG.
Yeah, we possibly could. 11-0, HellHouls. They called the timeout. Their investment looks very iffy with a Negev on Alchemist. And the surprise factor, my favorite gun in the game, goes out early. Man advantage now. Inside for SangfroidGaming. And at this point, it seems like they're trying to replicate what they did in the pistol round with DJ trying to sell a fake. Dreamkiller has been so on point that I worry even on the back of this fake, they might not be able to secure the site.
They do have two players up at Palace, and they have decent amount of distraction going in towards B, but as soon as that gets taken out, it should give the CTs a good inkling of where the attack is going to be coming from.
Bottom is still in a very confused state. They did not know whether to commit towards A, whether to commit towards B, whether to commit to a save.
They've got the footsteps. They heard the Palace player coming in, and Dreamkiller would have definitely conveyed that across. But with 20 seconds remaining, they're going to actually fall back. I don't think they have time enough to go back towards the B
It's gonna
side.
be a save. Yeah, that's just called a save right now. A 3 versus 5 save on the T side, you don't really see that often, especially in a map like Mirage, where you take a fight towards the side, suddenly you trade, it's a 2 versus 3, and it's doable in the post plant. So maybe HellHouls are trying to take a more conservative approach. I really hope that they have something to pull out of the bag, at least a round, to prevent a clean half for SangfroidGaming.
Of all the outcomes that I was trying to predict from that round, a save was not really one of them.
Exactly.
It was
Even I'm
a, it was
like,
a
okay.
huge surprise when the player who was pushing out of Palace decided, you know what, we're probably going to hang on to our AKs. Well, they are, however, not being cheeky about this push towards the A side, and Dream Killer, as always, on point from underpass, gets to. Wizzy joins into the party as well.
Oh no. Dream Killer. Now I know where he got this name from. He's just killing the dreams and hopes of HellHounds to at least get a single round. And this A defense, it's just impregnable. There is nothing that HellHounds can do to break through Dream Killer's line of control. 13-0. 13-0. That's how dominant of a start this has been.
Yeah, we're going back to pretty much the trend we have seen thus far in the round of 256. For the viewers who are tuning in today, yeah, it has pretty much been the case over the last couple of days, but it is to be expected. There's a lot of newer teams, 230 teams across India, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh playing it out, and Divide.
Yeah, he's just going ham on the
No one can put him down, man. He's just standing there on the B side, styling on HellHouls, racking up that IR.
I'd say out of every map that we've casted up until this point, the Too Easy game was the closest that we have had thus far. Even though that had the scoreline of a 16-5, 16-4 if I'm not mistaken, something along that line.
Yeah, that was
They were winning
16-4,
rounds.
but it was 4-2 in favor of FTL Gaming at one point of time. It was Too Easy Gaming from that point on getting in 14 consecutive rounds. Wizzy's gonna take the auto sniper mid. This I gotta see.
Spam through the smoke, but none seem connected. Busy for holding the angle. There we go. Finally, the frag comes through the box. Busy. Oh, we talk about Schrodinger's cat, but there's nothing that says that we cannot shoot through the box, can it, Jake?
Nah. There really isn't. And he's just gonna spam through the boxes. They were stuck at high mid. Absolutely nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. The double ops plus the auto snipers raining in the bullets. 15-0. SangfroidGaming. Map and match point.
Just into perspective, HellHouls haven't gotten a single bomb plant the entire game.
Yep. Absolutely. They haven't really made their way towards the sites either. They've pretty much been held in place by utility every single time.
Oh! I love this! I love this! Let's go crab walk duel Berettas. This is how we roll, boys. If HellHouls manage to lose this round, it's gonna be quite the blooper reel for us. They're still gonna crab walk their way out of game range, but he's a little, yeah, he's cheating. Just kick him.
Well, it's just divide on 5 HP. Sangfroid, I think they're not gonna walk away with a 16-0 here. They just tried the crab walk. Decent amount of damage done. Actually, 3 players.
Yeah, actually, it's possible. It's possible, Trade, and I'm believing. Divide
29 HP between 3 players. It's only TSM with 100 HP right now. The backstab is coming.
and he
in
hears
right.
it as well. He hears it as well.
Yeah, he
doesn't
wins this
back
duel.
as well.
3 bullets is going to be good enough to get the 3 kills, 3 body shots. But this is the big one. He needs to find DSM almost instantly, and he has no idea the push has already happened.
This is what you get for not crab walking with your teammates. Why would you do that? It is so beautiful, but no dual Berettas, no win, I suppose. They had only 3. If they had 5 dual Berettas, they had 10 guns. They'd win that any time of the day, Shane.
The 5 Mac 10s out for SangfroidGaming. They're looking to close this right here, right now.
Yeah, they are going to go out gangster style. With the 9 on their side. Let's see if they're able to get the B
And
side.
this looks like it's a clean B rush. It's just DSM here at the moment. Okay, he doesn't have very bad game. Flashes are already in position. The Molotov is good. Stop the push. DSM takes the peek. He knows exactly what's hitting his way. But backup has arrived already. They're walking in to a trap right now. DJ Paul.
Oh no.
Never mind.
It might not be a 16-0, but hey, you take what you get, right? It looks like HellHouls only got a single round. 15-1 nonetheless, looking to be 16 without SangfroidGaming dropping a single man in this round. And they're just toying with their food at this point, running back all the way to the A side.
Yeah, here comes the chase. This is pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. He's gonna try and find him. Yeah, they've spotted the last player. They're gonna try and go in for the knife as well. Because why not? There we go. The win comes in. Apple. That was SangfroidGaming just styling on HellHouls there.
Exactly. All right. Congratulations to SangfroidGaming. It was a very easy match. And most people are asking, why do these teams with a much higher skill level face teams that aren't just as good? And that's because it's the round of 256. There's going to be a lot of skill mismatch. There are going to be some teams that meet each other with a similar skill level. And if you're not lucky, because everything is random, you might probably face a really good team. So congrats once again, and GG well played to HellHouls. Do you have any last thoughts on that match, Shade?
I mean, like you said, it was pretty much a skill mismatch right there. Sangfroid, clearly the better team. Just to put things in perspective, HellHouls didn't get, I believe, a single C4 plant in. That was how convincing of a win that was for Sangfroid, and they move on to the round of 128. And to the viewers out there as well, yes, some of these matches, most in fact, do look a little lopsided, but in a best of 1 single elimination format, you're gonna get to see those few select games where the underdogs just turn up and they're ready for a fight. And it is totally worth the wait for that. But unfortunately, this was not one of those games. SangfroidGaming move on. But we do have a lot more action coming up for you later today.
All right, and as Shade just mentioned, it will be Frost Wolves versus RedViperZ. We'll be back very shortly in about 5 to 10 minutes with the second game of the day. Now, this is the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament that you are watching, powered by Lenovo and Intel, and we have AFK Gaming as our media partner. So stay tuned. Also, remember, subscribe to this channel, click that notification bell, and you will catch all of our streams. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament powered by Lenovo and Intel. And I'm Apollonia and Shade Slayer. You already know the drill. And now it's going to be the start of game number 2, which is Frost Wolves versus RedViperZ. So Shade, any thoughts on both the teams that are coming up?
I've heard of the name RedViperZ as an organization, but I'm not sure if it's the exact same one from the other games. I did see them over Valorant as well, I think, over the last a week back or so. But I'm not sure about that roster. But I do know from my co-caster OG, who'll be joining us later, that the other team FW does have quite a few players who do pug on a very regular basis. So I expect this to be at least the closest match we've seen so far in the tournament.
All right. And the first game that we just saw, SangfroidGaming, it was an absolute stomp from them. They were even trolling a little bit, but it was Mirage for that map.
Yeah.
And which map will we see now in game number 2?
So we're going to see the infamous Inferno yet again this time. One of the, I must say, I think it is the most played map, I think, in Indian Counter-Strike. And it's no surprise that we get to see it very often in the round of 256, because most of the teams here are going to be going with their comfort picks, especially in best of ones. It's a map that almost everybody knows, so no one's really too keen on using up their bans on them. They'd rather take out some of the unconventional maps that people usually don't play in the scene with, maps like Nuke, Vertigo, are almost the first ones to go. So Inferno, Mirage, Dust 2, these are the maps we get to see a lot more.
All right, and the status on these teams, they are about to start very soon.
Yeah, the countdown timer is actually going. So let's straight up jump into the action. RedViperZ versus FW. RedViperZ will be starting on the CT side. I'm Shade Slayer. Joining me is OG, the low-res chicken. OG, what's up, man?
Well, we're back at it. Inferno, a map that we all know and love. For some of us, we love it a little too much. Let's hope that they have enough love to share it around the pocket for now. FW with a fast push towards mid. They have a little bit of utility up their sleeve. Zeno is having a real good angle. Now he can fall back passive and try setting up a crossfire through sight where they both can strike two prawn. But might push this into a very uncomfortable engagement. The US team up close and personal does land a frag, but two come in return, and now it's the split through arches. It's all left on Zeno. The man who tried to start the round with an engagement is now going to be the man who has to end it. Let's see if he's able to end it on the advantage of the CT side. It's still a 2 versus 1, mind you. And if I'm not mistaken, there was a defuse kit towards Banana. This is still possible for Zeno, but he needs to get there now. He needs to get there fast, and he needs to get there hot in action. Again, the defuse comes in. He might go out in the body bag, and that's it. FW with the pistol.
He goes in early, instant dink. Coming back out from FW, and at that point of time, it was almost going to be an impossible 1v2. Good play there from the T's. It looked a little shaky when they decide to push through the smoke towards arches. They lose their first two players, but I believe it was, in fact, a 4K coming in from Facet to close out that round in favor of the T's. Buckle up, gents. I think we are going to have the closest map you've seen this, at least thus far.
Let's hope, Shade. Let's hope. For now, it looks pretty promising. Only a couple of, actually no upgrades whatsoever, except for the P250 on Vince. Right now, FW, they need to make sure that the Mactons get enough feed in terms of kills so that they can just exponentially boost their economy, while at the same time trying to lose as less players as humanly possible. Silent push towards B. RedViperZ have no inkling as to what's happening. And when they do get a no, it's gonna be too little too late. FW. Again, this patience play, so risky, yet at the same time so rewarding. Now, they don't risk losing a single frag, which has both its upside and its downsides. The downside is you're gonna have max deaths in a round where you might be up against potentially superior weaponry in the FAMAS and the M4. The downside here is, the upside here is, if you don't give away kills, you don't allow the T side to farm, which is starting to look like that's going to be the case. The wraparound through arches, there should be a push from the B side right now, which does clear CT. Let's hope that they do clear constructions. There's no kid nonetheless. No threat of Ninja. Destiny kind of looks a little sleepy. Let's hope he got enough sleep. Whilst at the meantime, it does seem like at least one terrorist is going to be put to sleep for now. Considering that two players, both on Mac-10s, are going to be dead low, it doesn't make sense to chase this frag as much, but FW really did gain a decent bit in that round. They gave a decent bit of feed to the Mac-10s. Now they can afford an upgrade. So can RedViperZ. This is going to be a real crucial round from the CT side because they have to make a tough decision. Do they potentially invest into this round and risk playing Inferno with low utility? Or do they eco and concede another round to FW? Now, the reason why you would want utility on a map like Inferno is it's a map that is completely reliant on early utility damage, especially early map control towards Banana and towards apartments. If you do not have utility, it's very, very hard to get aggressive in this map. And considering both these teams are at even Stevens, and this is Inferno at the end of the day, every damn team in the country knows how to play Inferno. So it's going to be real hard to contest if you do not have that utility behind you. Let's see what decision they do take. It seems like one of the players from RedViperZ have taken a temporary timeout due to a player disconnect. Let's hope that he is able to rejoin soon and that's not going to be that big of an issue on his hands. Looking at it from a different angle, this does put a little bit of a problem in RedViperZ code, right? You're all set for your game. It's an important game and it's a single elimination tournament. You have one chance to either go big or you're going to go home. Having a bad start like this and having a disconnect, it certainly would tilt, quote unquote, tilt a couple of players who might not be able to deal or succumb with the pressure. And that's what these teams are here to fight for. Experience, the ability to overcome these kind of shortcomings and to try at least to get that tournament.
Yeah, at least start off strong and start going through at least the initial few rounds in a tournament of this magnitude. But unfortunate there for ViperZ. They did have a disconnect, but looks like they're going to be 5 players strong back out. The timer ticks down. It's going to be their first gun round. Let's see Xenon already investing into the M4, and looks like the rest of his teammates are going to follow suit. Racket is going to hang on to that Mac-10 while Prince picks up the FAMAS. So not the best of buys. Utility a little bit on the lighter side. Let's see if that's going to be enough to secure them their first round on the board.
Let's hope, because at this point, they've invested completely into this round. This is going to be a deciding factor as to whether RedViperZ can reply and pose a decent scoreline early, or are they going to chance a landslide of a start with FW rapidly gaining both momentum and economy. A default setup from RedViperZ with 3 towards A and 2 towards Banana, but what's different is that RedViperZ are pushing Banana aggressively, which means they have a lot of information. This might be a little dicey. They could afford an early rotate on the back of that second aggressive smoke that keeps FW at bay. And FW being very indecisive, they're expecting an early frag to come their way, which simply isn't the case. They want to take things slow and steady, clear every corner, turn every rock before they do step on it. Molotov is good. It would give the position away of anyone who's trying to aggressively watch towards balcony, and that will give a false sense of security to Destiny, because the angle held from Wreck-It is very, very good. Potentially unexpected.
Oh, Xenon, the nades!
That's just all the way down, down. all left onto TRF, but he's only able to provide actually for resistance. Wreck-It, he baited his entire team in that round to try find some success. Sadly, he didn't get any. All he got was a nasty awakening. And this might be the start that RedViperZ were hoping that they don't get into. We talked about this yesterday, Shade, in one of the matches. I think it was the match against Global Esports, where there were rounds where you didn't really understand the investment. They just kept forcing in, even though they're low in utility, low in terms of the firepower they have. And that's like a trap. You keep reinvesting, you go down that downward spiral, and there's no coming back from it. Let's hope that RedViperZ avoid that kind of spiral and keep their heads in the game, because we're expecting this to go a long way.
Yep, the entire crossfire defense set up by RedViperZ on that A side crumbles as the triple nade goes in towards Pit, takes the CT out. All of a sudden, the angles are wide open for the taking, and FW, their patience early to mid round pays off there as RedViperZ just get overwhelmed in the last few bits of round number 3. 3-0, they're back on pistols here. There is a rifle on Vincent. That was the one rifle saved. It is towards Banana, but guess what? FW is heading back towards A, and it's just Xenon with the Deagle here.
Yeah, I doubted whether he'd find any success. Pretty standard round for RedViperZ. They should be able to save the rifle. At this point, I'd consider just saving the entire arsenal that you have. Yeah, you might have a chance to poke at their economy, but what economy do you have backing you in that circumstance? You have barely anything. You could put these deals to work in the next round as well, potentially with a little more utility to make it work. Some people question, well, if you're a little newer to CS, it's a little harder to understand why RedViperZ lost the previous round. Let me try simplifying it for you a little bit. In Inferno, you play aggressive to try baiting out your units, so when you're playing back passive towards the site, you don't get barraged by nades like that. You don't get barraged by molotovs like that. When aggressive utility is at a low, it's harder for the T side to push. And as a CT, it's your job to always keep the T side on their toes, not allow them to get comfortable. When you allow FW to get comfortable, you saw them. They had no control towards Banana. They were just standing mid, rock solid, and they were waiting at lane. Nobody contested, nobody peeked, nobody offered any resistance. And if it goes the same way, you really need to rethink the CT approach that RedViperZ are bringing to the table.
The op out onto Wreck-It. Let's see if the big green is gonna change things up in favor of the CTs, because this is pretty much going through the same routine we have seen so far. And Xenon.
No. Through the apartments, walling, all the way from T-Apps, mind you. RedViperZ, with the investment, this was a grim start. Not sure why the teammate came in though. Beautiful. The power of friendship is certainly being shown from FW, having a little bit of fun in the process. Luckily, a kill does come in return where Vince catches out a man off guard and the op finally chimes in. Now, FW have an inkling as to what's headed their way. They've been able to assimilate that it's going to be an A setup that RedViperZ are going for, and it's a very smart play they're making towards B. They have a decent bit of utility to make this work as well. Actually three smokes, a Molotov, and a couple of flashes. They can just comfortably take the site, and RedViperZ might be forced to play retake, which, if you know anything about the Inferno and B side, you do not want to retake this side. It's going to be very hard for RedViperZ. They need these frags. They need their individual players to step up massively. For now, the fort holds strong though, but the rotation has by RedViperZ as another frag goes down. Prince making this one so much more doable for his team as he's left Destiny in a 1v3, but is this gonna be Destiny? The push through the smoke, and if he went by undetected, he could have gotten both kills through CT, but luckily the op created on his position. 4-1, RedViperZ finally opened their account with the round on the board.
Yep, RedViperZ there, they hold strong on the B side. The utility coming in there, the CTs were able to readjust back out. The lone player on the side manages to hold the push down, gets the opener, finds a second before he does eventually go down, and that was more than enough for the rest of the CTs to regroup back out into a double up setup, but in mid, He goes
Boy.
for the peek out, the flash.
The dab, one tap. Let's go. Whew.
Yeah, that was... He peeked
That was
into a rain of bullets heading his way.
Racket getting wrecked towards mid. Just looking at it from his perspective, you can feel the pain, right? You can feel that anger that RedViperZ must be.
He wasn't really ready for multiple T's looking that way there. He was hoping for a nice, sweet one-man duel, but instead he gets stared on by 3 T's, and that's gonna send the T's funneling towards the A side. There are 3 CTs in position here. Let's see if Xenon can get an opener. Oh,
Nice opener, but FW have given the ball away by making so much more noise than they usually do. The ball back to Arches as he looks to supplement towards the side defense, but now they hold strong though with the second frag coming in from Xenon. Massive stuff from Pit as he makes this round look almost perfect for RedViperZ, where it could have gotten nasty. Mind you, FW still got the entry towards side. If Xenon by any measure went down there could have been a real turnaround. Good job from RedViperZ to maintain the buddy system towards the A side. It's that B side where I'm feeling a little scared, Shade, because they've been playing aggressive towards Banana. Now with FW being a little more wary to that, when FW contests Banana, it's going to be a completely different story for RedViperZ.
AWP towards mid. He needs to be careful. Second mid, they're coming in strongly up.
Oh no.
He's blind. He's gonna be able to fall back to Arch, but they're not stop pushing. There's almost line up to 2.
Why didn't he fall back though? He had an opportunity to get a better angle through CT Arches and get that frag and disengage at the same time. Xenon is putting the pressure on. He does not want the T's to grab Rob and make this doable. Good round from RedViperZ, but questionable decision with that op angle being held.
Well, he did manage to hold them off for just about enough time for, I believe that was Xenon to come in for a backup and clean up with the 2K with that M4. 3-4, FW. Is that 3 consecutive rounds that they've lost now on the trot after picking up the first 4? Well, I did call it. It's going to be the closest and seems like we're heading in that direction, OG.
Well, it's certainly proven to be quite an entertaining game with both teams striking blow at each other. It's not a whitewash like we've been witnessing throughout the rest of the tournament.
He peeks this out though. There's a boost right there.
Oh, for a second I assumed that Pets landed that kill, but he's doing pretty good towards Banana. Almost could have gotten the third frag. Luckily, FW, they are showing that they can lead as well. RedViperZ, this is their moment. They are getting that confidence and morale boost, which will really help not only elevate their team play, but also their individuals stepping up to the fray when they're asked to.
And right now, it's a smart decision by Hattie. He's just waiting on for Fasten to join him in. They know there's at least 2 CTs in that direction. They're gonna have to win a couple of duels here. They don't really have an option to trade. They're gonna have to come out on both duels. He did back out and Hattie.
Yeah, he tried to play contact there. The right play to make, he had to try his luck, you know, in a 2 versus 4, you try to take every opportunity given to you. If they used utility there, it was going to be very easy for RedViperZ to respond because they know exactly what's up and they know how to deal with it. So completely understandable from FW there, although their early aggression should be a little modified because RedViperZ, they're no strangers in using aggressive utility towards both Banana and mid. They're doing their best to keep FW at bay. FW just haven't found the best of responses just yet. Now with the timeout being called in the perfect time, this is how you use the timeout. When you're having problems finding short-term success, you take the timeout, you figure out what's going wrong, and you deal with that.
Yeah, you take the timeout and you're gonna have to re-strategize back out because what the game plan you came in with initially is no longer working. Yeah, RedViperZ, they've switched up to the double op setup as well. They're sitting nice and pretty right now. They're taking those early duels confidently. And looks like they should be in a good position to take the lead as well with FW rather on near pistols.
Well, let's hope they can at least try and do some damage to RedViper's economy, and it seems like they've done more than that. They've actually ended up even on the trade, considering that their HP is low. RedVipers do have a minor advantage though, but the only issue I see here for RedVipers is they still have the double op, which is going to mean that the HP on FW is not really going to be that big of a factor. The possibility of FW picking up an op and not only picking it up but also changing the round on the back of that op is massive, Shade. That's something that worries me on the back of my mind.
And looks like they're gonna turn around and head back towards the B side. It's just Cyan Prince here with the op. And
He needs to get a frag and stay alive. He has a Molotov though. That's the key difference to this B defense. If the Molotov is used to perfection, they win this round out. They win this round flat out.
they go for the wide swing there, and Cyan unfortunately unable to hit the shot. He's gonna expect the push from construction and wins that first duel out. Now with him winning the second, it is almost certainly he's gonna pick up the third as well.
Beautiful. Could not deny the bomb plan, but did everything else apart from that. So kudos to him for doing a real good job, expecting every engagement 10 steps ahead of it. Real good show of game sense and marksmanship here. Let's hope that RedViperZ are able to carry this forward through the rest of the half. For now, they've had a real good resurgence. FW on the other hand, they've been looking quite dry for the past few rounds. Now with the full investment, this might be the change of story that we've been requesting, Shade.
Right now, FW, after starting guns blazing, they seem to have kind of lost their way. They called the timeout. Doesn't really seem to have done a world of good for them. Early apartment presence coming in from Sneezy. The CTs, however, they've not been playing hyper aggressive. They're more than happy sitting back and forcing early utility from the T's. They know they've been able to successfully hold the push now on a couple of occasions all the way from back of the site. Flashes coming in. Looks like they're going to go for early mid control. TRF gets blinded for the moment, but the op is still in play here from Wreck-It.
Yeah, this is a very delicate setup because as soon as one man goes down, there's going to be a lot of pressure on the secondary man to deliver beautiful flick, and the bait switch is to perfection. TRF closing things down at mid alongside Wreck. And this is just going to be a disaster for FW. RedViperZ, they've started off this game pretty bleak, but they are soaring sky high, not only taking the lead away, but potentially could close the half with an advantage. FW have completely forced in. This is going to be a little risky, Shade. I anticipate a B rush coming in though. With the two Mac 10s, you can take things at range, and they know that RedViperZ are running a double op setup. The best counter to a double op setup is to run them down with utility. Have a flash, have a Mac 10, just charge at them, see what they have to offer. And it seems like RedViperZ might be ready off this. Nade's beautiful, but a lot of damage. Molotov with the spray fails him. With the smoke, he can potentially rush Cyan down and take the AWP down. The shot missed, a pretty difficult shot to hit in his defense. The Molotov pushes him out, but he still gets a kill. Down at 3 versus 4, and this is the cool RedViperZ. Molly did the magic in the side. Now, RedViperZ are completely closed out, but a massive frag coming in from TRF as he finds the opening through construction. A 3 versus 3, but the HP, it's so dead low on FW on two of these players. They need to take some of these engagements, even though they do not like it. The Molotov towards U-Box. Now they're starting to clear the corners. Xanol, frag through pillar. They know exactly where they are. A 2 versus 2 with the AWP up. It's going to be pretty hard. And Wreck-It, why is he so far away?
I believe he went AFK over the last 30 seconds. I saw him pretty much AFK at the Arches. So that was pretty unfortunate there for RedViperZ. If that AWP was in play to get the trade and force that final 1v1 scenario, the 1v2 scenario.
Impossible.
Yeah, it was definitely doable, especially after that early frag towards construction. There was no reason for FW to take that duel. They had the numbers advantage. It was a 4v3 post plant in favor of the T's, but they give away one free frag and a window back possibly for RedViperZ, and I hope, despite winning the round, they're able to learn the fact that they cannot keep giving away free frags like that.
Exactly. You see them playing a little more conservative style. See, yes, that peak scared me. It scared the living hell out of me, but it comes in return actually. The AWP finds the frag. FW, a man down, and now things are starting to look a little dicey. With the op chiming in massively from pit, they've simply not been able to crack this inside open. Massive defense coming in. The op making such a huge impact, but finally FW climb back with their own. Now
he makes another connect.
He makes the connect down to 4 HP, but the problem is Happy is still alive. There we go, the dead man's on the board. Now this 1 versus 2 is doable. If he picks up the op, it certainly could make a difference, but yeah, he didn't expect the back line to close in on them as fast as they did. 7-5, RedViperZ. They're starting to look real good now. This is the CD side of Inferno that you love to see. The bait and switch, the op, simply a torrent, which shredded FW to pieces. You still maintain the double op setup though. Now they've found consistency. Now they've found the formula that works. They're trying to exploit this to the max. And FW, they are continuing the investment. This half started real well for them, but they need to make sure that they at least get like around more. They cannot allow RedViperZ to hit double digits all that easily. The flash is decent. Wreck-It gonna be on the retreat. And now the frag towards A, it's a massive one. Wait, was he AFK? That means Wreck-It's all alone. But he's doing the job! 3 frags! Massive work coming in with the AWP. And this is still a 3 versus 2, although 2 versus 2 considering a match. The flash is to the side, the peak comes in, the flash isn't perfect though, but the no-scope! Cyan makes this one possible, a 1 versus 1. Fasten, he should know. I mean, he can't know that it's a 1 versus 1. Start expecting the peak to come through. Cyan, the savior of RedViperZ, as he finds them all. The ops, the all curse, chiming in massively, and RedViperZ given the lifeline to survive.
RedViperZ, man, 4 CTs only. They retake with the numbers disadvantage, but Cyan goes huge there. The no-scope switches to the rifle, wins the final duel, gets the defuse in, and RedViperZ have taken 8 of the last 9 rounds. This is the beauty of BO1s, right? You get one good streak of rounds. The rest of the match doesn't really matter. You're going to be able to close it out just on the back of that. And RedViperZ showing us exactly why that is indeed the case. FW, yes, this is a tech timeout thanks to one of the players from RedViperZ disconnecting, but the T's are going to welcome this with open arms. Here's time for them to plan something completely different, else this match is going south for them way too fast.
I'm still trying to process on how he could get 3 frags from that position. He is so exposed not only to the player at apartments, but the player who pushed side and was pushing late. In between all the mayhem, he managed to not only crack a hole at the defense, but blow through the defense and buy so much time for the rotation that at the end of the day, all the work that FW put in just goes down the drain. So far, this timeout will help FW a crap ton. Because let me tell you, if I was in FW side right now, I'd be so tilted. That's the reason I'm not a player.
Well, Cyan Prince, Wreck-It, the double ops have been going super strong for RedViperZ. Is doing the bulk of the work for the CTs. Here's hoping the pause doesn't really throw them off the momentum that they're working with right now. We've seen that be the case in a lot of instances previously.
Especially in best of 1 single eliminations.
Yeah. it's just, like I said again, it's just momentum, right? One good streak and you're good to go in most cases. And it is on the side of RedViperZ at the moment, but thanks to FW picking up a few early rounds, they're not too far behind. They can easily crawl their way back into this if RedViperZ do slip up a round or two.
Well, I guess this timeout does buy us a little bit of time to, just discuss on a casual basis. What do you think, Shade? On occasions like this, right? This quarantine scenario has given us all like that one chance in our life that we pray for, where we can do absolutely anything we want, right? So what was
Why do you
that
mean?
one thing?
Why do you say absolutely anything? You say
Indoors.
you are referring to gamers, and you're referring to us playing games. And
Actually myself, I've been thinking of picking up an instrument throughout my, teen years. I did try playing the guitar a little bit, tried the piano as well. They were just phases of my life, and I feel like giving the guitar another try again. That's something I'm going to pick up during this lockdown, and it's so much more refreshing, right? Because you have no pressure that you'd have on a normal day. You have no headache. You have nothing that worries you, and just.
And I think for
Trying to
majority
do it in-
of the gamers and working professionals out there, I think they save up a lot of time on just purely traveling, right? You just at home, you're working from home.
Yeah, I have online classes from home. I can vouch for that.
Students take classes from home as well, so you save a bulk of time that you usually would end up spending on traveling. Not to forget the effort that goes in as well. Gets you a lot more tired than when you are working at home. So I think a lot more of that time can be used in many different ways. There's a lot of professionals out there who now have a lot more time to put into esports titles like Counter-Strike, train a lot more as well. And of course, if you're looking, you brought up the fact that you want to maybe pursue something else in music as well. So I guess this is the absolute best time. You've got a lot of material available online as well. Not that you've got to go for classes itself. You can self-tutor and try out a few things that you usually wouldn't find the time or the opportunity to do so.
Well, what do you think about this new update, Shade, about the anti-cheat that just rolled out yesterday? I'd say that it's both a huge win and a loss for CS. The win in terms of them actually making a difference in their approach, right? Previously, they had a very different approach to how you could approach an anti-cheat, where they don't make it so intrusive. They're a pretty lenient company when you think of how they want to try and mingle with the...
Yeah, especially when you look at the other kind of anti-cheats out there. I think WAC is by far the one that's least intrusive. And unfortunately, because of that, the downside has been the fact that the trigger gets pulled a lot later, right? So unfortunately for the newer gamers, they've run into quite a bit of cheaters online. But with the new update, I think it's far too early to say the kind of impact that it's going to have. But I believe it is a step in the right direction, or at least they've got the right thinking going in the fact that they want to ensure that play is far more enjoyable, right?
Exactly. One thing that does annoy a few people a little bit is it's very hard. Actually, it's impossible to get things like streams up if you have a single PC, where you do require a different setup now and how you approach getting your game captured on whatever streaming software you use. For people who try to record their gameplay, I doubt that many of the recording softwares do work right now, so it'll take a little bit of time for this to stabilize. Let's hope that it gets stabilized as soon as possible and everyone's back to either making their own content, trying to make their own content, or doing whatever they want with their software. For now, it seems like RedViperZ have their technical issues sorted out, and they are trying to take this live and aggressive. Beautiful push towards Banana, no support given whatsoever, and now ends up a man down, losing half control. Could have been a second frag there. deciding frag for the half. But RedViperZ, not only do they get the control, they get the man advantage, and they fall back with a good position. Now they can afford to commit more men to the A defense, where it seems like FW are going to be heading towards bat trap.
Yeah, there's 3 CTs all playing deep inside the A site. It's gonna give FW free control of mid, but there comes the counter utility. Immediately the incendiary going down, preventing the push from short A. It's gonna send a couple of Ts towards apartments, maybe. Nah, there you go. The op comes in, wreck it, gets.
Here's the element of surprise though. The double up setup is towards the same side. We have one op looking towards short, one op towards arches, and now the push towards banana. FW completely sandwiched, and it's a death sandwich with there being nothing but blood. RedViperZ chasing after them like there is no tomorrow, 9-5. And RedViperZ, they have the chance to close the half with the double digits.
This is the problem of losing a player early, right? They had to go with the numbers towards mid. Absolutely no one to watch the backstab coming through. And RedViperZ having 2 CTs push banana pretty much gave them all the information that they needed. They knew exactly where the head was coming from. The ops trained in. They pick them apart one by one.
Ooh, nice name. Beautiful amount of momentum coming in from FW, but I'm afraid this momentum is what's going to get them killed. The aggressive utility, the defensive utility from RedViperZ is working. Small attack, and they finally managed to break through the wall at B side. ViperZ, they need to strike back. They are though with the boost. They make this a 3 versus 3, and the HP on FW is so dead low. The operating towards construction, but he lets go of the angle at the worst time. Beautiful shot. He does put around 19 HP though, so he can't take engagement. It's all down to only one man, and he might just make this work. But the swing wide from Zeno secures then the final round, and the teabag to end things in style. Who doesn't like a little bit of chai? 10-5, FW. The start of the game was good. The start of the second half needs to be good if they need to be in it to win it, because the pistol is going to decide it all.
10 of the last 11 rounds. That is how far RedViper have pushed their streak at the end of that first half. Unfortunate for FW, they did almost everything right till post-plant, right? At which point of time, a couple of unnecessary duels given out. They weren't ready for that standard boost onto Flowerbed. Despite losing that player, they go aggressive up at construction as well. 2 free kills given away at post-plant. Gave enough of a window for RedViperZ to go ahead and bring it down to a 1v1, eventually taking the final round win. On to pistols in the second half. For FTW, they're going to go with some utility on Sneezy Monster towards B. He has the nade.
Oh, but the P2 in second mid, though, it's doing quite a bit FW. They are showing us that they are not the people who want to be playing passive, but that's the problem when you go down in the dirt, right? You tend to get a little muddy, and yeah, it seems like they just walked into quicksand. They are sinking, Shade. They are sinking faster than they can come up, and that is just their hopes and dreams destroyed.
CTs called the timeout, the second timeout being used, and it couldn't come at a more worse time. RedViperZ take the pistol and do so in convincing fashion. They don't look like they're going to take the foot off the gas anytime soon there.
What do you do for FW now? Because on the CT side, their economy is harder to manage. They need to try getting utility and guns, which doesn't seem possible unless they give 2 more rounds to RedViperZ, which would mean that they need to give 13 rounds away with an 8-round deficit. It starts to look pretty darn hard. But like you said, Shade, all that they need is that one streak. They win one of these rounds, they'll be right back in it. They win the next bio round, and they'll be very, very close to an equalizer. It's still possible, Shade. You can still be an optimist and say it's possible. Right now, FW needs to be the ones who are optimistic. They need to be the ones who take initiative and try to turn their potential tables that's facing them against RedViperZ, and it's going to be on the back of this force buy. They've invested absolutely everything down to the last penny, and definitely while here's the rotation, the 5-7 is good for the first kill, but that's only that. They know that the information is given away, and the early rotate from Patty does yield them the kill. It buys a little bit more time to defend the A side, but the Molotov Patty, he's in a little early though, and that does give him that window of opportunity to strike, but then Nate just sends him back in, and he is sent home. A 3 versus 3. It's the pistol that's left alongside the automatic submachine pistol, and they might just be comfortable taking the force and pushing in single file. The pistols are starting to chime in, but it actually works in reverse. Sneezy emerging out from a fight to shoot his teammate. You cannot do that. They've got so much chaos into the side that they're just swinging to and fro. This could go either way. Look at the HP.
What are the HP? Both of them red. They get the trade across, and it's down to a 1v1. Sneezy does have the time. He has the kit. He's not sticking it just yet, and he plays time. Has enough to get the defuse in there. Having the kit meant the world. The smoke was down, and RedViperZ just had to go for the face there at the end. And yep, the CTs, they've been thrown a lifeline, OG.
One engagement messed this entire round up. FW. They were red, but they were not dead. That's the problem here. You cannot take anything for granted, especially in matches like these, because that just might be the lifeline that FW need to get back in it. We know these players, Shade. At least I do. They're pretty experienced. They have the parts in. Chemistry is something that they do develop over time, but there's nothing safe that they cannot come back into this game. FW dominating towards second mid. Of course, RedViperZ were only on deagles, but they can invest in the next round. But at the minimum, you expect to do some kind of damage. With commitment, perhaps? Nah, he finishes it off in style with the USBS like James Bond. 11-7, FW trailing close, 4 rounds behind, which means they disassemble RedViperZ this round. They are just going to be 1 round behind and right behind that tail.
Yeah, RedViperZ take no time. Quickly getting done with their eco round. Pretty much a slaughter towards the second mids, but RedViperZ, Cyan Prince is gonna have to make do with just the Galil. So pretty darn light on utility right now for the T's.
Wow, the luck.
He just barely survives there. An
It's
inch.
funny, he still gets the kill though.
Yeah,
I feel like the Mag 7, the swag moment's gonna come. The jump spot. Sneezy, yep, he made his way out. He didn't really need to force that engagement. Smart decision to delay what could have been a very uncomfortable and an unforgivable frag. Because FW, even though they are on the comeback trail, the bags are still pressed against the wall. So RedViperZ win around, they would be that much closer to the finish line. Kit was planning to push that smoke, but due to the man advantage they just got, he thought that through and he did the right decision there. RedViperZ on the other hand, they're regretting what they've done, and now they're just trying and hoping that this push towards B ends up working. The only problem is FW haven't been pressurized just as enough to even think about rotating, and they have a lot of defensive utility left on the board. Considering 40 seconds left on the clock, and with Sneezy having this smoke, the push is going to be pretty darn hard, Shade.
Yep. The moment he hears footsteps, he's going to drop that smoke. It might just be a little too late. He has the swag 7 point blank range. Oh! That could have gone huge, but instead they kept the 2 frags for absolutely losing nothing. Well, Uno reverse, RedViperZ, they're clearly in the driver's seat now.
RedViperZ just walk into the B side and they're like, that's free real estate. They just take it, no questions asked. 2 versus 4 now. Both the players do have kits, but I do not think this is something you'd want to retake. They're going to be on the save where it feels like they could have won the game. FW now. This is why you do not take anything for granted, Shade.
The risk of that smoke going down a tad bit too late. He, I think, dropped it maybe half a second too late there. If he sees them coming in through the smoke with the Swag 7, he's able to get the 2 shots off, maybe the 2 kills, and the round ends right there. Instead, he finds absolutely nothing, and the player at Coffin couldn't find a single frag with the AK. And RedViperZ, considering the point at which that round was, they go for a huge gamble, but the gamble pays off and might just result in them taking this round of 2v6 match away.
Just imagine, Shay. Hattie needs to pull off an incredible play. Get his team back, because he's the only one with any kind of weaponry to play aggressively. Even if the rest play aggressive with the MP9s, it's only Hattie who can strike and not risk that he'd be refragged. He needs to be the one who finds openings in the Red Viper offense. And right now, it doesn't seem like the Red Vipers are going to offer as much. They're more than comfortable playing passive because they know that they have the superior hand in this trade. All they need to do is just wait for FW to make that one small mistake and then brutally come on punish.
They're just going to wait until the end, force out more utility if they can from the CTs, and then a late strike. If the op can't isolate this into individual duels, the T's just need to ensure trades, and they have the site as of now. Hattie finds the first, he bucks him out of the balcony. He goes close, they can't go big, he gets 2, and the op from Hattie.
What just happened? Where did that flash come from? Both the players were dead blind. Was that a team flash?
2v4 on the A side. That was pretty much as bad as that could have gone for RedViperZ. They walked in to an SMG op.
And they just played in the perfect...
And those are individual duels offered, right? That was the one thing they needed going their way. They needed the trades, they don't find any, and forces passive into aggression FW.
Yeah, beautiful flash coming in from RedViperZ as they push their way down deep. They are angry, they're relentless, but the MP9 does decent bit of damage. TRF almost goes down there, very risky cross through CT. The nade might have finished the job off. Harry, the close angle's being held. He needs to clear the corner, and he does. Beautiful job with AWP. A 3 versus 3. It all is going to rely on this now, but the utility out in the worst possible time. Hattie and Destiny are doing everything in their power to keep that team in to win it. TRF is so dead low. It's all going to be on Cyan to carry his team through this round. FW though, they have life left in them. They are punching through with this retake, but they have not cleared through Hobbit. TRF might just go massive, but he ends up waiting a little too much. It's all left on his side, but he has to line up through the smoke. He needs to push it. No, he just runs in. He spammed the smoke. There is a lineup to defend the default banana plan, but he just simply outplays his hand. And FW, he still managed to stay afloat in this game. 12-9, they trail close behind.
For a moment there, I thought there was going to be a pretty darn easy retake for FW with their ace coming up banana. As soon as that fight went down, I thought RedViperZ pretty much had it. They got that opportunity, just about enough to sneak maybe another round, but the CTs still continue to hold on, and Hattie probably getting through the... Okay. The smoke incendiary, they just decide to push it one by one, and this round is all but done.
Yeah, the reload costs him. Luckily, RedViperZ will be able to invest in this round. The only sorrow part is they might lack essential utilities like Molotovs, which is very crucial to get a take towards banana successfully and with as less risk as possible. Now is the chance for FW strike. Now is the chance where they can afford to take that leverage, right? To go for those aggressive peaks. Because you need to beat a man while he's down. That is the way you win a game of CS. That is how you take your opponents to the town where you get them rolling. FW though, they're choosing to play this one a little more conservative towards B this time, essentially offering banana control for free, while they try to get aggressive through A. RedViperZ have done a good job at keeping them in a box, but while they're trying to breach into that box, that's where the problem starts, Shay. That's where RedViperZ have been having a lot of turbulence lately. Sneezy. He has an inkling that's going to be the B-side at the question. The only problem is he used all his defensive utility. This is a really good job from RedViperZ. They have baited a lot of defensive utility from the B side, and now you can anticipate an A rotate to compensate for that lack of utility. Hence, the rotate around. They're doing as much to fool FW and always keep them with second doubts in the back of their mind as they group up back towards Banana. Far, far away, but Sneezy has a cheeky angle from the smoke to get that initial fashion. He needs to land that frag, and he's giving them an opening, but he's trying to shut it all the way close, but sadly he gets knotted open. Now the 3 versus 3, but the AWP positioned to perfection as Hattie, he's left with the Herculean task ahead of him, because not only does he need to clear every single corner, but he needs to be wary, because the utility is certainly a problem. He has one smoke and one flash. He needs to either be conservative and save it for the ninja potentially, or he could use it to block out a position. But it's all going to be reliant on their trades and how they're going to play together. Still, nobody has cleared towards dark. Hattie trying to clear towards Banana, a little overzealous, and this has to be the kill coming in. RedViperZ, they finally break their streak, and it's 13-10. 3 rounds away from taking this one, although FW are 3 rounds away from an equalizer.
It's the same play again that unwinds FW. That B defense, the push through the smoke from RedViperZ. And with that, it was with no flashback. Right? They just charged straight up through that smoke and they win that opening duels. No questions asked. That shouldn't be the case if you're looking to progress through the tournament, especially in a best of 1. You've gotta have to punish that kind of a play, but RedViperZ, huge gamble given the circumstances, but they've come out 2-2 in that regard and has now put them firmly in the driver's seat. FW's economy is pretty much done. Yeah, that's done for. That was swag.
They can only invest in the next round. This is the throwaway round, essentially. They do have armor, though, so you could give them the benefit of the doubt. We've seen these Deagles do their work, Shade. We know what we call them. You know what they are. They represent what you'd call the bane of Indian CS. And right now, it might be the bane for RedViperZ to clear through single elimination. For a second, I thought the option clicked hit. Ooh, the tag. It's so dead low. A 3 versus 5, RedViperZ, they know what's up against them. They want to be as clinical and as safe as they can be. Because you've seen what happens when you give people a chance. FW gave RedViperZ a chance, and now FW are the ones who are in the back seat. RedViperZ, they do not want to make the same mistake FW did. They want to be clinical. They want to close this one out right here, right now.
Yeah, they're moving back towards the A site. On site, however, is Sneezy with the Swag 7. If there is even one player wrapping up from Arches, he's going to give up his position. He goes for the kick out. As soon as the kill goes down, it is all curtains. Hattie with the Deagle is just a dream right now. They're just going to spam the smoke.
The smoke. Oh, talk about cruelty. This is a step apart, kid. Big F in his name, big F for the game, as it's starting to look like the beginning of the end for FW in their tournament run. 14-10, RedViperZ in touching distance of the finish line. 2 rounds and they would have done it. But FW are certainly posting a real test, right? This has been one of the best games that we've seen so far. And this really shows that 2 teams at a similar level, regardless what the level is, in CS, it can still be a real entertaining treat to behold.
FW, the money's not great though either, despite saving the last round. Maybe saving up on armor, just going for the upgraded pistols would have done them good looking at the buy that they do have right now. But yeah, couple of Famasas, the 2 M4s, 2 kits onto Destiny and Hattie. Early banana control coming in for RedViperZ, is keeping in fact 4 players here as TRF looks for a potential backstab from mid. 1 minute 20 seconds remaining. There's a lot of early from RedViperZ. We see Destiny WoW has taken control of second mid, but looks like RedViperZ right now, in a bit of time, they might not really have an opportunity to fall back.
And the problem is FW have been smart about their rotations. Now they have 3 men towards the B-bomb side, and RedViperZ, they've been pretty one-dimensional about how they want to approach this round, which might choose to fight them where the sun don't shine. That's the Molotov is up through it, the boost through CT, the tag comes in on the secondary player as well, and now comes the rotations. This is just stick and stones breaking the bones of RedViperZ as every single one of them bites the dust. This beat defense, it's far too strong. This is why it's been aggressive and infernal. It's so rewarding in terms of rotations, and now it's left Vince with an all-to-do 1 versus 3.
But he's in a good position to drop this into duels. As long as
he's in a good position, but the problem is it's already being looked after, and FW, he just closed things out. This is the opportunity that RedViperZ should not have given to FW. This was that chance to not only close the game, but to take it with a pretty decent scoreline. Now, they not only risk showing that they could bleed, but also risk elimination, Shade, because we've seen games like this come back all the way. And trust me, you do not want to be on the receiving end of that kind of comeback.
And I believe this is the first time that we get to see RedViperZ pull out an AWP on the T side. It was something that worked wonderfully for them on the CT side, and they're pretty much relying on Racket here to put that brick green to work, give them the opening that they've so long been waiting for. The 2 players up towards mid, and I don't see the CTs give them another opening here.
He is going to be the man you have to look at here. They've taken a pretty gambly setup towards A. The only problem here being if it's a double flash, they might be wrecked, but the return is good. RedViperZ, they trade evenly, and that's only 1 man left to defend the A side in the form of Destiny Wow, who's left down at 20 HP. This is the scene which RedViperZ have been hunting for so long at the tag. It could be the game in the bag. RedViperZ on the verge of getting map and match point. FW, they need this round. They need to retake, but they go on the save. This was the reason, Shade, you do not have such a front setup. Yes, you will get the initial few frags, but RedViperZ have been on point with their refrags thus far. And having a setup like that, you rely on the opposing end to fail on their refrag mission. Sadly, FW were completely wrong about that assumption. Boy,
They took up they took up way too aggressive of a stance considering what was on the line right there. They pretty much pitted themselves to get those frags coming in, and which they did. They kept the 2 initial frags, the 2-man spray down, but once the T's knew of their positions, the next 2 frags, the important ones, goes the way of the T's. 3v3, they get the post plant in, and RedViperZ, they can smell victory right now. FW, their money not looking great. Their weapons don't look great. They do, however, have 3 kits if it does eventually come down to it, but
again, an aggressive stance towards apartments, which if broken, there we go. It might be the beginning of the end for FW in this tournament, boys. Because it's looking pretty bleak. The weaponry subpar, the utility barely existent, and the hope fleeting. RedViperZ, they started off this game with a little bit of a problem, but it seems like they overcame it, and that's the trademark of the team that you'd like to see, right? How they deal with adversity in their face, and they are just punching it in. RedViperZ, merciless take at the A side. FW 2 on 5. It is almost out, boys. The Molotov, he's burning 13 HP.
And that is it.
The last man standing. The last.
Yeah, that is it. He's gonna try his absolute level best there, but the best is not enough, and it is going to be RedViperZ who take the win there. What a close match, Apple.
That was amazing. This was the closest match that we have had since the start of the tournament. They were constantly bouncing back and forth. Frost Wolves, they looked strong in the beginning, but I think RedViperZ ultimately found that momentum.
Yeah, it was, in fact, RedViperZ not really getting off to the best of starts. They lost, I believe, the first 4 rounds, but all of a sudden they're able to pick up a lot of momentum, get, I believe, at one point of time it was 10 of 11 consecutive rounds that they picked up, giving them a 10-5 first half. But at the end, we did see them slip up a little bit, but on the rounds that mattered, they were able to clutch it out. That final 3v3 where they're able to hold on to that plant, and at the end, that final round, they're going up against inferior guns, push towards the A, they're able to get the opener, and they're going to be very happy here today. It was a very close one. We did talk about this during the last match. Round of 256, you never really know what to expect. It's probably, there are going to be a few ones that go pretty one-sided, but then there are ones like these where you get a couple of evenly skilled teams who pretty much go blow for blow, and it was a treat to watch.
Exactly. It was a very fun match to watch, but ultimately, congratulations to RedViperZ as well as SangfroidGaming. Today, they have made it over to the round of 128. Now, we will be back tomorrow with more games. We will stream it, but this will be the end, and that's all for today. And it is the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament that you are watching, powered by Lenovo and Intel. AFK Gaming is our media partner. And to close this off, Shay, do you have any last words? Anything to say before we go over to tomorrow?
I mean, we're going through the last few games coming up in the round of 256. So here's to hoping for a lot more close matches like the one that we did witness. There's a lot of prize money on the line as well. 3.5 lakh INR in play, 1 lakh INR to first place. So a lot of moolah up for grabs in this tournament. The matches are just going to get better and better as the days goes by.
All right, guys, we will see you tomorrow. That is all for today. Do subscribe, and you can catch all the tournament details, everything that you need to know. All links are in the description. Until then, we will see you tomorrow.
To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.